Okay, it's live now.
الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين المتقين وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى يبارك في أوقاتنا في مجتمعاتنا. نسأل سبحانه وتعالى please barakah to bless us in the time that we're spending in this gathering. وأن ينفعنا بما علمتنا, that He bless whatever we learn to be useful. وأن يعلمنا ما ينفعنا, and that He teach us that which is beneficial. So we have two things: that He benefits us by what we learn, and that He allows us to learn what's beneficial, because some things you can learn not beneficial, which is the fitna, trial, tribulation. And sometimes you can learn something and benefit from it. And other times you can benefit from the knowledge, and other times you can hurt yourself with the knowledge. So that's why the Prophet ﷺ used to make this dua. Allahumma as'aluka ilmun nafi'ah. He used to say, oh Allah, give me beneficial knowledge. هو النبي الكريم السيد الأنبياء السيد الأنبياء والمرسلين. He is the head, the chief of all the prophets and messengers. So if he's making dua, he's supplicating, he's asking Allah to bless him. Number one, again, ينفعنا بما علمتنا, to benefit us by what we learn. Don't make it something that we learn and it's not an advantage. We learn it, but we don't use it, like the prior nations. So we learn it, like in woman bab of reality, but we want to only learn it so we can be in the spotlight. We learn it about the sum'ah, so we can be the one who people listen to. And we learn it just so we can gain some worldly benefit. No, that's not what the knowledge is for. And if you have ilm nafi', then that means you can comprehend it. You have ilm, but it's incomprehensible. It's over your head. It's above your pay grade. It's something that is misplaced. And this is not knowledge, it's beneficial, it's harmful. Al-Huwa, yani al-ilm, or the knowledge, kabirun dun as-saghir. It's major knowledge while what you need is basic. And this is knowledge that, that do nafi'. It's not something beneficial for you. It's not, as they say, advantageous. Yuduhu, it's harmful to you. Huwa min bab al-fitn, and it's in the category of fitn. So we make dua, we're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this following the way of our Prophet, following the way of the companions, following the way of A'immatul Huda wal Burhan, Saluk, Sabil Salaf Salih. It's the way of our pious predecessors. They ask Allah, ينفعنا بما علمتنا, that you make us benefit from what we learn. وأن يعلمنا بما بما يعني ينفع بما وعلمنا بما ماذا يعني that we learn what is يعني beneficial. علمنا بما ينفعنا. Now, teach us what we could comprehend, what we need, what is the issue that we're dealing with in our lives. These two things turn the phrases around the nafi and yanfa'una bima alamtana. Knowledge is beneficial, comprehensive. You can place it and also to benefit from the knowledge. It's not just a thing. Many times people, they sit, shaking their head, and then if you ask them something, what would you say? This is the beginning of making this dua. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yubarik fi awqatina wa fi majalisina. That Allah bless this time we're spending and this sitting. Well, kind of wahid, even if it be just one person, yanfa'na. He benefits. Yanfa'na bima alamtana wa alamtana bima yanfa'una. Now, very important. وَيَزَكِّي أَنفُسِنَا, and that it blesses something that we can purify and sanctify our souls with. There's dua of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam in the Quran. وَيَعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ. He's making dua for his offsprings. You have children. They're going to have children. They're going to have children. They're going to have children. So we have ancestors. Wherever you may be, somebody came before you from your people. Those people, they're making dua for their offsprings, for their lineage, from their people, from their family tree. Now it reaches you 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. Al-Sana. Maybe it reached 1,000 years, generations down the line, that dua. What's the dua? Zakya al-Fusina. That we purify ourselves by the knowledge. That's what Ibrahim alayhi made dua. وَيَعْلِمُهُمَ الْكِتَابِ وَالْحِكْمَةِ. وَيَعْلِمُهُمَ الْكِتَابِ, the book, al-Quran. Teach them. يَعْلِمُهُمَ الْكِتَابِ. رَبَّنَا وَبَعَثْ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِنْهُمْ يَتْلُو. Oh our Lord, this is dua and Surah Al-Baqarah. Ibrahim is making dua. Him and Ismail at the Kaaba. You start by making the Kaaba for the sake of Allah, to be rewarded by Allah, not to be praised of men, so people can have a place of worship, and to magnify Allah wa ta'ala. And Yarafa yuzkar ismahu, and Yarafa wa yuzkar ismahu. Now that Allah's name be raised, that's why the adhan is out loud. Yuzkar fihi, and that his name be mentioned in the house of Allah. So they're building the Kaaba. Some said reconstructing because they used some weak hadith to say the first one to build the Kaaba was Adam alayhi salam. But we don't have a delil for that. This thing is on the blink. When Mustafa. Stuck in those days. When nobody else touched, they broke the other mic. Oh, let me see. Shh. Snapped the wire. Stuck from the line. So they built the Kaaba, the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then they said, Rabbana waj'alna muslimayna laka. Oh Allah, make us Muslims to you. Make us submit to you. ربنا وجعلنا مسلمين لك ومن ذريتنا. Here we go. ذريتنا. ذريتي. Our offspring. That's why in the bottom of that same page, Ibrahim is given wasaya, advice, to his sons. And then he said, وَنَحْنُ لَهُ مُسْلِمُونَ. And to you, Allah, we submit. After Allah commanded him. Then the story comes, أَمْ كُنْتُمْ شُهَدَاءَ. And we were not present there. إِذْ حَضَرَ يَعْقُوبَ الْمَوْتُ. When death came to Yaqub. Who's Yaqub? Jacob. And called Libani. He said to his sons, مَا تَعْبُدُونَ مِن بَعْدِي. What are you going to die? What are you going to worship when I die after me, after I've gone on? قَالُوا نَحْنُ نَعْبُدُ إِلَهَكَ وَإِلَهَ آبَائِكَ. You're going to worship your Lord and the Lord of your fathers. So look, you're going back to the ancestors, who they worshiped. Not just the ancestors like today. Whatever they say is ancestry, we're with. If it's shirk, kufr, bid'ah, all type of crazy rituals, we're with it. Like ancestry, you have to go back to if they were on Tawheed, those ancestors. Who they used to worship. What they used to believe. So you go back to the beginning. Ibrahim, after he's making dua to Allah, they're building the Kaaba, him and Ismail, asking Allah to make them Muslimain. And this Allah, we say it in layman terms, Allah makes Muslim. But then, as the fitna comes, we try to force our Islam, what we think, and what we feel on people. But we said Allah makes Muslims, meaning no matter what you do, what you say, what you think, what you believe, if the person's heart, Allah don't open it to accept or reject it, it's not going to happen. That's why they said, رَبَّنَا وَجَعَلْنَا مُسْلِمَيْنَ لِمَنْ. The Shaykh, make us submit to the Shaykh. No. Muslimayna, submission. لمذهب, to the madhab. لا. Muslimayna laka, now to you, O Allah. وَذُرِّيَّتِنَا, and our offspring. Muslimat lak, submit to you. وَأَرِنَا مُنَاسِكَ وَتُوبَ عَلَيْنَا. And let us see the manasik. The manasik is the worship, the ibadah. إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ Tawwab al-Rahim. You're the one who Tawwab, forgive. Rahim, and you forgive a lot. Those two go together. Tawwab, the one who accepts. Tawwab, he accepts a lot of repentance. Why? And he's Rahim, because he's forgiving you a lot. Because you make a lot of mistakes, do a lot of stuff. So we need a lot of forgiveness and a lot of mercy from Allah. In the next ayah, Ibrahim said, رَبَّنَا جَعَلْنَا فِيهِمْ رُسُولًا, and make from amongst, and him again, he's talking about later on down the line. Rusulan, a messenger. Yatslu alayhim ayatin. Yatslu, it is said, Yatslu, yani fihim, Yatslu alayhim. Read upon them. It's very, very profound. Because the sakina, the mercy comes from Allah. The protection from the ayah comes from Allah. يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ, upon them, when you're sick. Shaks al-Nashur has a sihr, magic. يَقْرَأ عَلَيْهِمْ, he's there, you read it over him, upon him, the words, the breath. Shaks al-Fihi ayn, person has evil eye. يَقْرَأ عَلَيْهِمْ, you read it upon him, over him, over them. يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ, يَتْلُو يتضمن حروف. It means the letters, like we will say to the brothers earlier. Can't do transliteration. It's a fitna, again, fitna. Tarjaman ma'an, tarjaman, to deliver. Ma'an, means you can do that. Can man can, whoever it may be. Al-Qadr Mustata', based upon his ability. So we have Quran in English, Quran in Spanish, Quran in French, Quran. يعني لا مش عندنا قرآن في إنجليزية، نعرف English Quran ولا يعني لوكس يعني الاسبانيول ولا فرنسي، لا Spanish, French. And then المعاني القرآن, we have the meaning of Quran in another language. أما القرآن, this first Quran, يتضمن الحروف القرآنية. It has to include the letters of the Quran. Fitna, يتلو. يتلو means reading. يعني تلاوة. يتضمن الحروف, meaning the letters. وما كان الحروف إلا مخارجهم. And there's no letters except they come from different places. ويتضمن قواعد تجويد, how to assimilate and blend. ويتضمن ماذا فهمه, it includes understanding of the ayah. This one said some of the Sahaba, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Abdullah ibn Abbas, we read Tafsir ibn Kathir, they bring Ibn Kathir brings the narrations of those companions that they wouldn't لا يجاوز فوق العشر آية حتى يطبقهم ويفهمونهم. They wouldn't go beyond 10 ayah of reading, memorizing, until they practiced them, but they didn't practice them except they understood them. So yatlu, to recite, it includes huruf that came down from Allah in the Arabic language. It includes the application, and you have to understand before you apply. It includes yani tajweed, yani, and that said the lugha. Tajweed lughatan bima'na yataghanni. تزين القرآن بأصواتكم, to yani make a melody with your voice. We say singing. لكن في اصطلاح التجويد, في كلمة تجويد, but the department and the science of what's called tajweed of Quran, the technical meaning is that you play and you talk كل حرف حقه, that you give every letter its right. Yeah. Again, يتلو عليهم آياته, that messenger would read to and over them and teach them and recite his ayah. ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة. He will teach them the book and kitab, the Quran. والحكمة. Hikmah, they said in the Arabic language, وضع شيء في مكانه, put something in its proper place. That's hikmah. That's the linguistic meaning of hikmah. Put it in its proper place. وفي دين كذلك ذكر العلماء حكمة بمعنى سنة, what Prophet Sallam taught. Put it in its proper place, hikmah. Coming from the Nabi, and hikmah. Those two meanings of hikmah. Here it is. وَيَزَكِّيهِ, and sanctify. That's the point we want to make. From the dua that I make, and the ulama that make it, the salama, saluk, Zaki al-Fusina, oh Allah, purify our souls. This is before they even start, they're making these dua. And many times you don't get that in English because they just write Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, whatever, this, that. But Shaykh is teaching, he's making this dua first. Because he himself needs to be purified. This is one of the fitna. يعني لا محل يعني as they say لا محل له. There's no escaping. Everybody can be tried for the fitna. حتى أهل العلم, even people of knowledge. لما سألوك زكي أنفسنا, oh Allah, I ask you to purify our souls. وأنت خير من زكاها, and you are the best one and the only one to purify our souls. أنت وليها ومولاها, and you are the protector and the guardian of those souls. إما بعد. Today, we started as we said, the beginning of the seminar Kitab al-Fitan. Kitab al-Fitan, the book where Imam Bukhari gathered the Sunnah of the Prophet from his shuyukh about the topic of fitan. And we used some explanation, various shuyukh. I said Shaykh Uthaymeen, very famous, alhamdulillah, from our time. And Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, Imam Ibn Hajar, who gave one of the most extensive and bima a'lam, as far as I know. And I don't know everything. ولكن بما أعلم وأشهر وأجل وأوصى الشرح من شروحات صحيح البخاري. He gave the best, the most well-known, the most lofty, and the most widespread explanation of Sahih al-Bukhari. Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. Now, وَأَصْلُهُ مِنْ مَاذَا شَامٍ in Philistine. Origin of him is from the place they used to call Sham back in the day. Now it's Palestine, Jordan, like this. ثُمَّ انتقل إلى مصر. Then his family traveled from that area to what we call Egypt. وقد اشتهر. He became famous. الأسقلان عشان ماذا ولد فين. أسقلان, this goes back to Sham, Syria, Damascus, Dimishq, like this. Well, he was known to be also from the people of Egypt, where he migrated and he died there, rahimahullah ta'ala. He has one of the most extensive explanations of Sahih al-Bukhari. So, he mentioned a lot of things that comes from his book, which Allah bless us to study, read, memorize our days in Yemen, the match. Depending on what publication you have, 14, 15 volumes, subhanallah, Allahu Akbar Kabir. We're also going to use some of the statements of one of the great scholars. He's still alive, as far as I know. He didn't die. He's still alive. He's from the Hayat al-Kibar al-Ulama, from the Committee of Major Scholars from Riyadh. وهو معالي الشيخ الفاضل عبد الكريم نعم قدير. Some said Qadir Qudair. Like when you mentioned Imam al-Sa'di, some said the Sa'di was Sa'di. Qudair, or you could say Qadir, Qudair. Now, Abdul Karim Qudair. The hadith we mentioned today in the khutbah is the first hadith to have it back. The first hadith in the book of Fitan, Imam Bukhari brings it. And he mentions Qala Hadathana Yash ibn Walid al-Basri. That's his shaykh. Whenever this is Haddathana. Haddathana means we heard directly from that shaykh. So it's a Haddathna. Yash ibn Walid al-Basri. Basri. قال حدثنا. Then Yash ibn Walid al-Basri, he said he got from his shaykh. He got from his shaykh Abdul A'la ibn Abdul A'la. Now, قال حدثنا. Now he said, we heard from our shaykh Ma'mar ibn Rashid. Ma'mar ibn Rashid. Now, these are the ulama. Call it an. Now, an. Normally when you hear an, this is itba tabi'in, or tabi on the tabi, and then to the Prophet. So Ma'mar ibn Rashid called an. Zuhri, Imam Zuhri. He's from the Jabals, the Jibal, the mountains of knowledge and character, and subhanAllah. We'll look up Imam Zuhri. Guarantee you type it in Google, especially in Arabic, it's going to come up. It's full life. Imam Zuhri. Allah Akbar. وهو محمد بن مسلم الزهري. Now, عن سعيد ابن مسيب عن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه. سعيد بن المسيب من فقهاء التابعين. من فقهاء ماذا؟ التابعين. فقهاء التابعين. Abu Hurairah have a lot of names. Abu Hurairah. People say he's got a lot of names. Listen, you go and look in these books. That's why I was just telling my family I'm going to change my schedule. I'm going to teach one of the books of fiqh that deals with these issues. You're going to see what Imam Abi Hanifa said, what Imam Shafi'i said, what Imam Malik, what Imam Ahmed, what the Dhahiriyya said, Ibn Hazm, what Qawl Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. You're going to see all of that in this book. There's going to say Gharib al-Hadith, to the different special meanings of the words that in the Hadith. Just like you have Gharib, the Al-Faf, the Quran, words have different meanings. Quran, Hadith, they have different meanings. You look at it, it don't mean what you're looking at. It means something else. Ijmal Hadith. Generally now, what you get from the Hadith. Ma yukhadu min al-Hadith. What benefit you take from the Hadith. All of this in one book. Then again, subhanAllah. Lord. All of this, wallahi, this is what we're doing in the mountains. People say, well, they're making takfir, saying this was the kafir, that was. I mean, you have again, kitab al-fitn. The book dealing with fitna. You're going to have people making problems, tested with evil, but in general, we're sitting with ulama, benefiting, learning, trying to figure out how we're going to worship Allah and what we're going to do when we get 50, 60, 70. We're young, in our 20s. And that's us, the brothers from America, Britain, Canada, you know what I mean? Some brothers from the islands, but you know, those locals, they were young. They had their children there. You're walking, you know, messing up the ayah, trying to get it. The little boy, 9, walks past you and correct you. That happened to me so many times. Said, Shukran, Jazakallah khairan. Yeah. But this book, Taysir, A'lam, في عمدة الأحكام, by Shaykh Abdullah Abdul Rahman al-Bassam, was from our time. But the way he wrote this book, like somebody who lived 200 years ago. 2 volumes, and it goes Kitab al-Tahara, Kitab al-Salat, and the way he wrote this book again, he's going to give you Gharib al-Hadith, the meanings of the words in the hadith, that it don't mean what you think face value. It means something else. They're going to give you mad yukhadu min al-hadith. What benefit you take from this hadith? They're going to give you ijmali. Ijmali means you're going to summarize it. Then they're going to give you what, like the ulama said, or so you can see all the different shades. Yeah, subhanAllah. This is what I was quoting from today with this issue of salah, from that book. Yeah, subhanAllah. This is what our people have to learn, so we can learn to pump the brakes. Sometimes we get one side, and stuff for Allah is fitna again. Some shuyukh will lie to give you one side, because that's the side that he sees to be preponderant. Or this is the side that, has a strong evidence. But you're talking about people who seek knowledge to learn the religion, to service the deen, then they have to know all sides. Fiqh al-Muqarran, comparative fiqh. You got to know all of these. So this is very important. We're going to still keep Shaykh Sahih Muslim Imam al-Nawawi, Kitab al-Iman. We may keep Tafsir bin Kathir. We need some Tafsir. We need some Tafsir. May keep that, or may keep Jalalain. Jalalain is good because it teaches you opinions and different benefits that you don't normally get in Tafsir. But I'm going to decide, and then one of my classes, Allah most kind of just have to do it. We're going to have to open the Ulum al-Quran class. We'll go from the beginning, the huruf, the makharij, then from that, how to put the words and how to read, in the best fashion, and then meanings, and then teach you some, basic usul fiqh. All of this is what you need. How to know if this is haram, halal, makruh, if it's general, if it's particular. All of this we gotta learn. And you don't have to be a sheikh, but you should know some of this, because how you gonna navigate through all of this? So, and inshallah there'll be one day, we probably be on Sunday, 2-hour class, and my friend said, I can't wait, I'm gonna be in the front row with all the stuff she be bringing, mashallah. MashaAllah. But no, this is important. And as you heard when I did the khutbah, one of the statements of one of the tabi'een, he said, لا يطلع العلم براحة الجسد. لا يطلع العلم براحة الجسد. يطلع means to achieve. Al-ilm, the knowledge. براحة الجسد, راحة, relaxation. راحة, this is the term Tarawih, come to Raha. You pray when you rest, you sit, you don't just pray. Raha, just at your body. So you're never going to get knowledge if if your body is, full of relaxation and, because even just the vigor and what it takes to learn, then now still you have to read, you have to research, and it doesn't come overnight. You might look at a particular point for a month because you don't understand it. Or you think you understand it, you go back and read, and you find out, wow, I didn't see that at first. If you're a person, people calling, asking you, you got to make sure you know what you're talking about. You have to do research paper. The midterm, the final, you don't just do it in one night. You have a whole semester of work. You got to review. Now you're going to do some research. You're up all night. You got a week to get it ready. That's in the world. What about in the deen? So this also tells you, again, sabr. It takes patience. Sabr. But tahtaj jihad al-nafs. It also means you got to fight your soul. To want to, as talking about earlier, the imam, so much joking and playing, that's side and side. Time for this, time for that. But we play and joke so much, we can't even get serious when it's time to get serious. So when we talk about the issue of the hadith that Imam Bukhari starts with in his Sahih, and we mentioned the khutbah today. So the Prophet mentioned that close to the time of the hour, that the qara, close to the time of the hour. And this again, Imam Bukhari, he brought, when he says kitab, that means everything he's about to talk about is related. So if we say kitab al-zawaj, kitab represents general talk. The thing after kitab represents your subject matter. We say kitab al-masjid, we're going to talk about affairs of the masjid. Kitab al-zawaj, we're going to talk about affairs of marriage. Kitab al-bir' wa shira, we're going to talk about buying and selling. Kitab al-hajj, we're going to talk about hajj. Then when you hear bab, now it's going to give you a particular theme that's in that general topic. So kitab al-fitn, it's going to talk about fitna. Everything he's going to mention for the next however many pages, he's narrating about trials and tribulations. Then the first thing he's going to mention related, bab, yataqarab. Now, what's going to yataqarab? Yani, what's going to be yataqarab has a lot of meanings. Some of them said things will be close to you, from the word qareeb. You say ba'id, far. Qareeb, close. So yataqarab, things will be close. For example, again, fitna will be close. Right next door, around the corner, in the neighborhood, the next village, the next town, the next country, maybe in your own house. Allahumma musta'an. Some also said that the qarab means a zaman, that the times will be close. You saw we, yani, layl wal nahar, that the qarab, that the daytime will be close like the night. But we know that's not sahih. Day is always longer than night. We know that. In the longest and the shortest days and seasons, which one is the longest? The day. Sometimes you find the day is short and the night is long, but traditionally the day is longer. Because that's when you have to go out, work, move around. That's why Allah made waj'alna yani al-layli libasa. And Allah said we made sleep, we made the night libasa to cover you. Think about clothing to be protected. Think about cover to be protected from bugs and coldness. Now, waj'alna nahar al-ma'asha. And we made the daytime so you can asha, take and do what you need to survive. Asha. Now, وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَ subata, and we made, and I made, Allah said, sleep to repose you. So here, if nahar li'asha, lazim yakun atwal min al-layl. If the day is for you to move around, to toil and trade and go here and do this and that, it has to be longer than the night. No, it has to be longer than the night. So those scholars say that the qarab means the times will be equal, day and night. That's Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Qudair said it's not true. But what they're trying to do is give you benefits from this hadith, so they're breaking down the words. We didn't even get to the hadith yet. Just this first term that's used in a sentence. With the qarab, also, the Shaykh said, that means these things will happen, they will happen, Yawm al-Qiyamah will be close. And this is the statement of the Prophet, yataqarab. But it's going to tell you what? But they give you the different meanings of this word. See, yataqarab, now, these things, you will see them. This fitna will be appearing before the day of judgment. first thing he mentioned, he said, Qasru al-Amal. Qasru al-Amal. When the Shaykh, the young Shaykh, was reading to Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Qudair, after he praised Allah, sent salutations from the Prophet, made dua for Imam Bukhari, and those people who listened in the masjid, and now today it's recorded, whoever's listening, and the Shaykh who's going to give explanation, and the mothers and the fathers of the believers, your real, like mother and father, they're alive and believer, said, قال Imam Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala fi kitab al-fitan. That يتقرب. Then he mentioned the chain, then he mentioned what the Prophet said. The first thing he mentioned after the Prophet said, يتقرب, he said, قصر في العمل. But he made a mistake because there's some word that said قصر في العلم. The knowledge would be short. The Shaykh let him do like 3 things. He stopped him. He said, go back. He said, amal. قصر في العمل, not ilm. People will be short in their actions, not ilm. Then he went back, he read it over. What this tells me? That people's actions won't be the same as they used to be before. People have shortcomings as a human. But the actions will be short. Short in barakah. Short in performance. Short in the way that it's done, missing the mark, according to Islamic text. Short as it relates to the quality, the quantity. لا يكون مثل السابقين. Won't be like those people of the past. قصر في العمل. You have shortcomings. It's a sign of the amal. That's why I brought that hadith, and I'm not bragging, I'm just trying to let you see the dots. That's why I brought the hadith first. Then we talked about this whole issue of the fitna, of the salat, and this. That's qasrun. The Prophet mentioned it. Please put your phones on mine, let me show you more. And you have your, I think, the wraps are there and salad for you. You could eat if you like and sit if you're hungry. I'm not going to pinch you. Just make sure you leave some for other people, inshallah. In case other people come. I don't know if women want to come, but inshallah. Make sure your hands are clean. So the point is that Qasr fil amal, Shaykh, he mentioned that Qasr fil amal, Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Qudair mentioned this shortcoming with the people and our actions. But also keep in mind it's from Kitab al-Fitan. It's from the issue of Imam Bukhari bringing hadith around it. Then he mentioned يلقى الشح. يلقى ماذا شح. You will see people have shuh. And I'm going to go back to explain what is fitting. Just mention the beginning of this narration. Shuh. Allah said, وَمَنْ يُوقَ نَفْسُ وَمَنْ يُوقَ نَفْسُ the shuh. Whoever frees himself from shuh. Shuh in Arabic, and bukhl. Bukhl, and this again, the Arabic language, sometimes words have similar meaning, but the small variation matters. And when people, they translate a lot, another fitna. Brothers that go study 6 months, literally. He's brighter than me, more skilled, very skillful, young, picks up like this. I got to go over, still miss the mark. Not slow, retarded, but everybody learns how they learn. That guy picks up like this, like wow. Wish I was like him. But 6 months is not enough to come back and mount the minbar. I'm sorry. Get up there and preach the khutbah. It's not. He wants to translate. He's writing books. This example. Shuh, bukhl. You say shuh. Everybody say sure.
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 Not sure. You lazy. Ha.
Sure. Sure. أيوة.
And bukhul.
بخل.
Bukhul.
بخل.
Make the tongue go bukhul.
بخل.
Very good. MashaAllah. See the makharij, the lambs up high. Bukhul. Yes, MashaAllah. I sent to him. Very good. When they translate these two, sure and bukhul, they say stinginess. The Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Qudair من حياة الكبار علماء. It's from the legend. Committee of scholars of Riyadh. He said, البخل مع أموال مع مال. Bukhul, being stingy, that word bukhul is only relative to something that you have that's a wealth issue. You have goats, sheep, have gold, honey, clothes, property, money. That's mal. Don't think of mal as just, I have $50, I have mal. I'm wild. Is what you have of assets, something that has monetary value. So bukhul is relative to that. I'm not a shuh. As far as the word shuh, in this he said ashad min al-bukhul. This is worse than the term being stingy from the perspective of bukhul, because shuh means general. He gave examples to like a person who has a trade. We're not saying you have something you can't make an institute, seminar, charge. Yeah, people, especially in the capitalist society. But we're saying people have expertise, skills. And they may even complain. The brothers sitting around, they don't have no job. Say, ask them, what you doing? Nothing. Did you eat? No. You can go somewhere? No. Come on, go with me. Take them with you on the job. You can't do nothing. You can't hold a screwdriver. You don't know how to use a hammer. You can't measure. It's okay. Khalas. Just take that shovel and shovel that stuff and put it in the pail and then dump the pail in the dumpster. He can't do that either. So I mean, you got to teach him. Now you got to make a apprenticeship or something. Or Allah. Finances. People horrible with finances. Wasting money. I can't get married. I'm always borrowing. I'm spending so much money. I'm working for nothing. But you know how to manage your money. Teach that brother. Give him some tips. Show him if he allow you. Some people won't allow you. The Shaikh mentioned this is an example of shuh. You have something, you can help somebody, teach them, but you keep it to yourself. And we see people like this. Man, I'm not teaching you nothing. I'm good. You got to get your own. Are you serious? Sure.
Sure.
It's that also, when it comes to the ilm, the knowledge, subhanAllah. You know something, deen-wise, that was as it relates to skills and trades, worldly knowledge. Now this is Islamic knowledge. That's why I remember the hadith of Mu'adh, when the Prophet told him and asked him first, you know what Allah has made mandatory, that he has to deliver to his servant, and the servant has to deliver to Allah, the right of Allah, what he must do. And what you must do to Allah, he said, Allah Rasuluhu A'lam. So Allah and his messenger know best. It's Mu'adh bin Jabal. Trained as a scholar from a young boy. Sent to Yemen at 19, 18, 19, Alim Kabir. He's a young boy. The Prophet told him, Haqq Allah al-ibad, the right of Allah, ta'buduhu wa la tushriku bihi shay'a. That right of Allah, you worship him alone. Don't make no shirk with him, worship him and stay free from shirk. That haqq Allah. Well, nobody else that's for you to deliver to Allah. It's a haqq al-ibad Allah. And what Allah must give to you, have something Allah like you have to give the worship to Allah. Like عذبكم ما لا تشركوا به شيء. He will not punish you as long as you will make sure. Ma'ad said, أَفَلَا أُبَشِّرُ النَّاسِ. Should I go inform the people this great news? The Prophet said, لَا تُبَشِّرُوهُمْ. Don't tell them anything. They're going to depend on I worship Allah, will serve, and do all the other sins. They could still earn them some type of punishment. Even if they come out of the fire, they will be destroyed. Ma'ad didn't tell nobody that. Now, how much stuff we know the Prophet said and we break it? How much stuff we know we shouldn't say, we say? It's a secret between you and me. I go run my mouth. You know what, baby? SubhanAllah, the brother he told me. It's not from Allah. Allah forgive us. Tell you something, you can't wait. I barely turn my back. You got your hand on the phone. I already know who you're about to text, who you're about to call. Allah Mustafa. Prophet said, don't tell nobody the good news. If you worship Allah, you'll make sure that's His right. And in return for that, if you do it, it won't punish you. You won't be in the hellfire. So don't tell the people they're going to depend upon that. But before he died, on his deathbed, very sick, he told Anas. He said, there's something the Prophet told me not to tell the people. He said, but I'm afraid I'm going to die and be punished for withholding knowledge. This is sure. Had he died not telling people this narration? And the only narration we have about this Haqq Allah and Ibad Allah is from Mu'adh. He's the only Sahaba the Prophet told that to. That's how we know it, from Mu'adh, from the Prophet. Sure, I know something, I will told it. Allah Mustafa. With Harold, Al-Fitan, Youth Harold Al-Fitan. Fitan هنا the Shaikh mentioned, Abdul Kareem Al-Qudair, he said Al-Fitan, he said here it means Al-Matan, wal-imtihan, wal-masa'ib, mitten, test, mitten. يعني امتحان, examination, مصائب, sickness, trials, tribulation, all of this is part of fitna. He said in the Arabic language, he said, fitna is singular, fitan is plural. So to show you again, in Arabic you have plurals and singulars. Singulars, plurals. Muslimun, with a mean, two dhammas. Muslimun is singular. Muslimuna with a waw and a noon, plural. So fitna is singular. Fitin is the plural. Fitna, a trial, test, examination, calamity. Fitin, trials, tribulations, examples of that. The Shaykh is mentioning what the Prophet ﷺ said, Youth Harold Fitin. Now, and then Fitin. A lot. Shaykh said sometimes this means with regard to your children. He gave this example. Fitin bima'na, yani ta'a, to obey somebody, bima haram Allah, and what Allah has prohibited you. Allah tell you something is wrong, but you make somebody obey you in that thing. That's fitin. That's an example of fitin. Ghuluf as-salihin, being extreme with your righteous. Had a norm and a fitin. It's this type of example of fitin. Like the Christians. Take Isa is somebody to be worshipped, someone to be prayed to, someone to save them from the hellfire, somebody that they should give all of their love to. Fitan. Fitan. يعبدوا ماذا الصنم, to worship the idols. Fitan. النساء كاسعات عاريات, women clothed but naked. Fitan. وأموال عبد من حياة الدنيا, things of the worldly life, materialistic. Fitan. وأولاد, the Shaikh is said to be children. Fitan. He wants you to buy them toys, clearly Christmas toys. Muslim. فماذا يكون مسلم بأن يشتري لأولاده يعني ملعب بحق Santa Claus? What did Muslim do in buying his children toys, Santa Claus toys? Can you imagine that? Because he's going to cry through a fit. Everybody else has it. نحن أمريكيين, we're American. نعيش في هنا, ليس في بلادنا, we live here, not back home. We break down, oh, خلاص. It's only for the Christmas season, then we'll put them away. Or you'll have the desire to do what's wrong, so you justify it. من ديننا يعني العرف الناس يجوز. It said it's okay to do the customs of the people. And هذا في عادة ليس حرم الله فيه. This is the customs that Allah that made prohibited. Now, إن كان يعني في بيوتكم أو لباسكم أو في يعني شيء منفع, something is beneficial. لا يجاز يعني إلى الحد المحرم أو خبيث أو شيء تشبه بهم, something that is pure, something that has not reached the level of now you in the haram or you imitating them as a people. Something تشبه بقوم ومنهم. Whoever does like the people, whoever, the Prophet said, imitates the people, whoever fashions after people, then he's of those people. But said, no problem. I'll buy you Christmas toys, this type of fitting. Because you're obeying somebody and what Allah made haram, this type of fitting. Wife, obeying the husband, what's haram? You want to get high, you go from jahiliyyah. These real life examples that I'm giving. She never got high with him at all, but she liked him. He's a pretty boy. She come from that, but she's doing well. And he said, come on, this, that. It's my birthday, listen, I'm getting high a little bit, I'm going to make Umrah next month anyway, you know what I mean, getting my taxes. Come on, man, come on now. You from that background. You come from, the hood, this, that. But don't ask me no more. This is the last time. I ain't never did this. So, like, subhanAllah, I can't believe you. Then please, if she get high. Fitting. To obey them was haram. Like Jews. Astaghfirullah. So Shaikh is giving these examples. Fitting. By doing stuff with your children, it's haram. This is the meaning of fitting. It's a trial, it's a test. Doing stuff with your spouse, the wife, or the husband, to please them, it's haram. But this is one of the means of fitting. She wants you to go into extreme depth up to your earlobes to please her. You should please Allah. Then, after pleasing Allah, please your family. Make sure they're taken care of, but not to the extent you're going to be punished. You're going to make your life miserable. a living hell to please somebody by doing the haram? Not abadan. No way. This is one of the meanings of fitan Shaikh gave when he explained this word. That's why Allah said, "Inna min azwajikum wa awladikum aduwwun lakum fahdharuhum." And some of, see brothers again, men, huna laysa bima'na kulliyan. Men here, the ayah doesn't mean everything. Allah said, men, some from among you. Your awladikum, azwajikum, aduwwun lakum. They were enemy to you. Now what this means? You kill her, you kill the kids, they were enemy. Allah said they were enemy, so I'm fighting the enemy, I had to kill them. Are you serious? That's a warped mind. Give an example of a description of an enemy. Quickly.
Someone that drives you to doing what you shouldn't be doing.
MashaAllah, may Allah protect us. I mean, not make us the enemy and not make the enemy to us like that. I mean, yeah. In context of what we just said, child wants you to buy, it's haram. You give in, oh, they want to deprive him, oh, kids should be happy, oh. The wife, same thing. SubhanAllah. So this part of the meaning of aduwwun lakum fahdharuhum, loss of the enemy. They might prevent you from making the salah. They might prevent you from seeking ilm. They might prevent you from doing stuff because you lean towards what they like over what Allah likes. It's one of the means. Be aware. Now, the wife, the same thing again. Man wants to do like wicked things. And women, they follow the men. Make no mistakes about it. If you're good, the woman follows. If you're bad, the woman follows. That's tabi'iyya. This is how Allah made them. It's not because they don't have minds of their own. Not because they're stupid. Not because, you have so much gain, as they say. He's got gain, man. That guy, No, this is their nature. And sometimes they don't follow because they're human. They have their own way, their own mind. No. But it's a fitna. If she's following you and what's wrong, and she knows what's wrong to please you, likewise, you doing the same thing. Shaikh, you mentioned this. He said, the next thing the Prophet, he mentioned the hadith, وَالْمَاذَا وَالْحَرَجْ with the ha. You have haraj, like huwa, haraj, you have haraj. Haraj is a hardship. وَلَا haraj with ha. Hayya ala sunnah. Ha. Haraj, you have haraj. Ha.
Haraj.
Ihdina sirat. Ha. Huwa. Ha. He. Who. Haraj. That's the next thing in this hadith. Shaikh said, the Sahaba asked the Prophet, "Ama huwa haraj." What is this haraj? The Shaikh said, the Arabs understood this word haraj to mean al-ikhtilaf ma ikhtilaf. Al-ikhtilaf مع الاختلاف. اختلاف ألف خاء تاء and طاء. Mixing together, being together. مع اختلاف, while you have oppositions, differences, and problems. So imagine, let's put this in the bowl. Let's mix it. Like we used to eat cereal and milk, cornflakes. Raise your hands. Let me see your hands. You know about cornflakes, right? Then you're going to raise your hands like I see you, right? Whole cereal. Let's mix it in the bowl, huh? Frosted Flakes. We used to eat Apple Jacks. Tricks. So for kids, silly rabbit, and a bunny on there with his ears. Captain Crunch, blueberry, peanut butter. You have the Apple Jacks. You have the Frosted Flakes with Tony the Tiger on the box. You have the Diggum Smacks. Some people say, they were nasty. Diggum Smacks, and you have Sugar Bear. Both of them cereals nasty. You get soggy colors, it's over. Cocoa Puffs. You have Lucky Charms. You have Waffle Crisp, Cookie Crisp. And then you have the good so-called cereals. Raisin Bran, Wheaties, Special K, and so on. You put in the bowl, you get your cold milk, you eat it. Mix. Ikhtilaf. Mix men and women together. Allah musta'an. These days, wal-'iyadu billah, you mix the sexes. No. My name is not John, my name is Jane. A'adu billah. Now that one, he's with Mark. Name was John and Mark, now he's Jane. A'adu billah. Ikhtilaf, they're mixing the sexes. Khubath. Filth. Wal-'iyadu billah. وهكذا الفكريات makes you mix يسمونها وحدة الأديان mixing, united, one religion together. They call it interfaith. If you ride down 95 long enough, going south or north, I guarantee you're going to run into another international highway to take you to another state. Interfaith, they intertwine. Ikhtilaf. Not ikhtilaf. Nah. So Shaikh, he said, Haraj, the scholars of the Arabic language said this, they understood the Arabs this to mean, yani, Haraj, being together, ikhtilaf, ma ikhtilaf. So when the Prophet said this is a fitna, they didn't understand, like, what do you mean by that? Because the context of the other stuff he brought in the narration. You're going to see this as a sign before the day of judgment. You already see people mixing. You already see people differencing. How is this a sign Yawm al-Qiyamah is coming? Taqarab, naam. Yataqarab, naam. How? Yataqarab as-sa'. How is this going to be an indication? He said of qatl. And qatl. Haraj is qatl, killing. So the Shaykh, he explained, because in one narration, one of the Sahaba, he said, but Haraj, qatl fi lugatul Habashiyya. And the Ethiopian language, Haraj is known to be killing. Now the Shaykh, mashallah, Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Qudayr broke this thing down. He said that statement is from one of the Sahaba. He said, well, we know the Arabs understand Haraj to be al-ikhtilatu ma'a ikhtilaf. And somebody would say, wait a minute. If the Prophet is saying this, is there really some words from Habashiyya in the Arabic language, or do we have a Quran and Sunnah that has al-Alfaz al-Ajamiyya, foreign words? If you say that, then people will say, okay, then Allah Azza wa Jal made a mistake when He said, Inna anzalna al-Quran al-Arabiyyan. Indeed, I have sent, revealed Quran in Arabic language. But you have Ismail. أصله ليس بعربي. Ismail is not an Arabic word, أصلا. You have Ibrahim. ليس بعربي أصلا. It's not from the Arabic language. وكذلك موسى وعيسى. كل هذه ألفاظ أسمائهم سبق من الأمم السابقة. These are names from people before our Ummah. لكن يوجد في القرآن. وكل half of حروفهم Arabic, and all of the letters that are written, you see, you look at it, that's Arabic. Ibrahim, Alif, Ba, Ra, Mamduda, and the Mim. Ibrahim, clearly. لكن أصله ليس عربي بل دخل في لغتنا من باب الوحي. But it became Arabic by way of the revelation. Huh? Lord Akbar. That's why you don't say Ibrahimi. You could only say Ibrahimu and Ibrahima. Why you could say Muhammadu, Muhammada, Muhammadin? يقبل الكسر والتنوين, takes double consonant in the kasr. But Ibrahimu, Ibrahima only. Ismail, Ismaila only. And like that. So the Shaykh is mentioning this because one Sahaba said, Haraj, that the Prophet said, Qatl, it means killing. The people of Habashia understood that word Haraj to mean killing. But the Prophet, when he mentioned it, think of it as how the Arabs understood it. The Shaykh said, Haraj bima'na al-ikhtilatu ma-ikhtilaf. Being together and you have strife, you have differences. The Shaykh said, وَهُوَ وَسِيلَةٌ يُوصِلُ إِلَى قَتْلٍ. It's something that if you keep it up, it's going to arrive at killing. It's going to arrive at killing. So that's why the Prophet said that Haraj, qatl. While the Arabs understood it to be mixing together with people, and you have this fighting and differencing, but it's going to lead to bloodshed. On a major level. So this أول حديثا in the bab, the first hadith in the chapter of Kitab al-Fitan in the Sahih Imam al-Bukhari. The Shaykh said, Fitan in the Arabic language, the ulama, they understand it to mean like when you take some dahab or hadith and you put it in the fire. And I had a job before. It's called heat treating. Where you take metal parts. I remember the brothers used to say, or if I'm patient, I'm going to have a lot of reward yawm al-qiyamah. The stuff they say about me. Well, I'm halal. And you can't escape it because Allah wrote some people just going to eat flesh. Maybe have vegetables and, mashallah, fruits and nice drinks, and I don't want that. And he bites your leg. Like Jeffrey Dahmer, he wants to eat human flesh. Allah said, أَيْحِبُّ أَحَدُكُمْ أَنْ يَأْكُلُ لَحْمَ أَخِيهِ. And then Allah said, Maitan. Dead. Any one of you, would he like to eat not just the flesh of his dead brother? Then Allah rebuked you by saying, you would despise it. Allah. So fear Allah, talking about people. Remember that used to say, he beats his wives. He don't work, take care of his family. Here I am, Allahu Akbar. Studied almost 10 years in Yemen. 3.5 in Egypt. And I'm just 57. And in 2008, I got awarded not Social Security, but disability. That comes from when you work. Now, you tell me how much barakah when you leave dunya for the sake of Allah. I didn't miss nothing. I gave up a lot to learn the religion. Worked from the time I was able to work 17, 18, working real jobs. Went to court, lost the case, appealed it, in 14 months, won it, became disabled due to visual impairment. Before I lost the vision, it was so bad, 200 over 90 or something like that. I didn't know numbers could be that jacked up. 200, no, I got 20, 24, 20. 200 was the top number. He said, this guy with one eye he's doing security and construction work, he's going to kill somebody or knock somebody off the scaffold. Based on his experience and what he does now, he's disabled. Boom. What's the point? Now, if you fast forward, those same people said he didn't take care of his family, this, that. All that I will be waiting for on the day of judgment. Leave talking, and why? We're not paying nobody's bills, and like me talking about you, but I'm not putting no gas in your car. But talk about what? Paying no car insurance, I ain't paying no bills, like putting no food in your crib, who cares? You know what I mean? And if I'm blessed enough, you won't smack me. Like I smacked a lot of people before I lost the vision, talking trash. You know. The brothers tell me, I said, really, I did that? Fitting it, huh? Somebody talking about you. Allah Muslim. The point is that, look at this. You put some iron in the furnace, heat treated. The furnace is 2,000 degrees hot. You have to put it in this furnace, because these are the bolts you're going to use in a train locomotive. You're going to use them on big machinery. We take it for granted. The bolts and different, like a mic might have a little nut or screw, but that stuff has to be, treated, made strong to where it can stand pressure. The heat does that. So the Shaikh said the word fitting means to put some gold iron in the fire to like clean it from impurities to get it ready. This is the linguistic meaning of fitting. So we wonder why when we use the term, it weakens you. It melts you like the gold. It melts you like the steel. It melts you. It takes sometimes all of the bad out of you if Allah bless you. But sometimes it makes you worse. Fitting. That's why Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned وَنَبَلُوكُمْ بِالْخَيْرِ وَالشَّرِّ فِتْنَةً, and we will test you with good and bad fitna. وَإِلَيْنَا تُرْجَعُونَ, and then we're going to take your soul. Fitna. This is very important chapter. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his help. Inshallah tabarak wa ta'ala. Let's stop here. What time is it?
7:56. Almost 8.
Let's stop here for Barakat of Rasulullah Nabina Muhammad.
You want me to keep it playing?
No, stop.
Stop it? All right.